Okay. I am a little sad today. Mental health is kind of shitty, but we made it and we're here and we showed up. And I don't know, that's better. I should have taken a mental health day, but it's all good. Let's see. My kid is laughing and it's sweet. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but she's so cute. She sounds like a little piglet. Okay, I'll just deep breaths. How was your Juneteenth? Did you guys have a holiday off? My daughter gets 4 days. It's a 4-day weekend. So that's why I'm on a little late, but maybe I'll get a new crowd. It'd be nice to get different vibes, different energy. Yeah, we had a long week. I mean, it was hot, so I've taken her swimming, which I like. I mean, it's nice to toss her into the pool. She gets a lot of activity. She sleeps good. She naps good. I get a tan, which is nice because I like how I look when I'm darker. Winter is okay, but I just look better darker. My only issue is that my daughter is a little lighter than me, so she burns. Sorry, I'm just warming up because I'm a little tired, and it's not because I've been overworking. I've actually been better about boundaries and working less. I had this epiphany. I always have a lot of epiphanies. I don't know why, but it was maximizing your output should not mean maximize. It does not always mean maximizing your life. So just because you do a lot and you're working a lot, and I feel like that's a lot of Americans. It's not just me, but it is me. But you're not really maximizing your life. I think about all the times I work hard, and I'm working hard chronically, impulsively. I don't know if you guys can relate, but I mean, yeah, so I do. And I don't think I like my day-to-day life that way. I think it feels stressful. I think there's a lot of pressure. I think, yeah, it might look good on paper, but that's not how you live your life. Or I don't think that's how you should live your life. You should live your life like presently, right? You should feel what you feel and incorporate that into your life. So I've been really on this kind of trip where I say my body is my boss. So if my body is tired, I take it slow. If my body is tired, I'm laying down or I'm drinking water or whatever I need to do to listen to my body. Instead of my mind being my boss, which usually takes over, my body is my boss. That's helped me. I was watching this thing too. I think it was on Think Big. This woman, she was talking about experimenting with your life as opposed to making habits. And I like the idea because usually if I have a plan in my head, I will try so hard to make it a habit. But I don't take in all of the input that is going on. I just try really hard to get to the goal without taking in all this input. And I like the idea of doing experiments instead of focusing on habits because my daughter does this thing where she screams really high, but it's not because she's upset and trying to attack you, though she has done that. But she does it because she's excited about this video. And I don't know if you hear her, but anyways. I like the idea of experiments because you have to take in how you feel, your internal world, as well as the external world, when you have goals and habits or when you want to create a habit. So, and also maybe sometimes you want to change your habits. You don't want to just be like, all right, let me think about this. I used to run every day, 2 miles every day. This is after I had my kid. I used to run 5 miles every day. Very into running. But I wasn't listening to my body because even though my mind was into it, I really enjoyed running. My ankles were hurt. My knees were hurt. I actually have really bad joints because of all the running. And instead of taking rest, and resting helps you with your, body anyways. And I used to run every day when I had my kid. She was like 2. I was so exhausted. And I thought that was healthy. But my therapist told me that healthy is when you, rest is healthy too, right? If you want to embody healthy, as a person, you would have to rest too, because that's a part of being healthy. So anyways, that was nice. I don't know why I brought that up, but I was thinking, oh yeah, experiments. I think it's a nice idea to try something. Like this Twitch thing is new to me, but I don't know if I'm going to commit to it either. And I'm okay with that. You know, it doesn't have to be a commitment. I'm going to think of it as dating, kind of not only like dating, but like anything I've been doing. So even though I've been doing a lot of new things, I'm not committed to doing it. I want to check in with me and see if this is something I like doing anyways. Does my body feel good doing it? Same with the world. Does the world even want me to do it? Or if I'm looking at like a career, but if it's a hobby, obviously it doesn't matter. But if it was like a career, then like, are you getting paid enough to do that? You know? I don't know. There's a lot of things when you think about experimenting versus, and it's a lot more thinking than just building a habit. Even though building a habit is a lot of work, yes, it's a lot of work to change. It's a lot of work to build a habit, but it's also a lot more work to experiment. But you only have so much life to live. And I think you should, if you can pivot all the time and incorporate those yourself into your plans, then it's better. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm enjoying Twitch. I'm enjoying writing this book and launching it. Actually, a lot of it's very terrifying. Twitch is not so terrifying. I could care less. I need some boundaries with Twitch and Discord. So I think I'm going to go on Discord sometimes, but like not as much as I used to. And it's cool if you guys want to talk and like get to know each other. But I think I'm just going to like take a break and only check in, not even once a day. I'm not going to even commit, but whenever throughout the week. And then same with this Twitch thing. I'm just doing it for an hour and a half, something like that. And then, boundaries. I'm working on boundaries. Working on boundaries with also, epiphany. I was working on boundaries with people. Like you say, okay, I don't like this. Can you not do that with me? Can you not say it's like yelling. So you're like, okay, I like that you want to tell me something. I want to be there to listen to what you're telling me, but you don't have to yell at me to tell me something. And I'm really good about boundaries in that way. But then I have an epiphany that boundaries can also be for work. So if I'm working and my brain is telling me I'm fried, then I have to take it slow or I have to take a break or whatever. So that's a boundary too. You can't just overwork. That's crossing a boundary with your body. You're not listening to your body. Okay, I'm done with that. I think I'm done with that. I had a lot of these because I had a complex migraine and I couldn't work for a day. But not only that I couldn't work for a day, but I was thinking, oh my God, if I just ignore these complex migraines for the next years of my life, I'm going to either have a stroke or a heart attack or something. I don't think diabetes or obesity is going to kill me. It's going to be mental health. Anyways, so I took that pretty seriously and I'm trying to take it more slow. I'm trying to be less stressed about things. I'm trying to rest. It's helpful. Yeah. Working on it, I'm not perfect, whatever. Let's see. This. I don't know if I want to talk about this, but it's already there, so I think it's just easier to check it off my list. There's this movie with Khaleesi and a paraplegic man. I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, he's like super... The summary is that he's super... I'm having a hard time. It's been a long couple days. Okay, first warning, I might talk about this. I'm totally spoiling the movie. If you want to watch the movie, don't listen to this part. I don't even know what the movie's called. I did my homework. Let's see. I'll look it up. Oh, it's called Me Before You. And okay, yeah, spoiling the movie. So the movie's about this guy. I think he's depressed. He can't move. He has a nurse. It's a very typical movie. They fall in love. But throughout the movie, you find out that he wants to kill himself. And at the end of the movie, you would think, it's a movie, right? You would think her love saves him. But then in the end, I think he ends up killing himself. I think that was the controversial thing, was that people were super upset about that. And I get why people are upset, because they're projecting their own thing onto this guy. But I think that at that point, you should be healing. Your projection, your outrage is telling you something about yourself. Like, if you're having an extreme reaction, it's telling you something about yourself. And maybe it's telling you that you need to grieve what happened with your situation and how unfair and unjust you felt it was, because you can totally honor your feelings about it. And this is my thing. I think that if it's your body and you're not hurting anyone besides yourself, I think we should be able to kill ourselves, basically. I think it's a controversial topic. Sure, people are not going to always agree. Usually it's always a religious fanatic, I feel, that doesn't agree because the Bible says you shouldn't. But I'm like, why do you, I don't know. I mean, it's cool that you're religious, it's fine, but you take these things so literally. And then there are some people, there should be outliers for everything. Like, what do you feel about abortion with someone who is being raped or something? Or like other things too. Even still, like, you just a human and you mess up and then you want to have an abortion. I'm just like, that woman has to go through so much in her body to like give birth to that kid. And if she doesn't want to, she's probably not going to be the best parent. She's not going to, like, that kid might end up in like a foster or adoption or whatever. If not, like, I don't know if that kid has a good chance of having a good future anyways. Sometimes it's better to do the hard thing. That's all I'm saying. And I think the same thing with suicide. Like, if you don't feel, I'm not saying everyone, because sometimes it's like depression gets to you, and if you can get help, that's great. But if you don't want help either, it's kind of hard to make anyone. You can't make anyone who wants to go down that road change. They have to want to change. You can try to give them as much love and unconditional love as possible and support and like help them. But it's kind of like, if someone is super sick, but they don't want to take their pills, you can't make them take their pills. They have to want to survive. They have to want to take their pills, get better, get help. I think I was really mad. I think I went down a rabbit hole, like reading the controversy, because everyone was so mad about that movie. And I was like, if you guys are mad about something, you probably need to talk it out or think about why you're so mad. And it must be triggering something. Okay. Yes, I will be done with the suicidal shit, because that's kind of hard to talk about. Maybe I should talk about something light. I'm so tired. I went out today. My daughter, we had a play date today. We had a play date yesterday. I saw 2 neighbors yesterday. Yes. And we had a play date. And she had a socializing class. So I'm kind of spent. We're going to take it chill today. Okay, funny thing. So my kid, we go to TK camp, which is like 4 hours long, and they make you take like half a lunch, like a snack to school, so that they have something to eat. I'm not hungry, whatever. Only in the summer. This is not like full time, like fall, whatever. It's school time. And usually I look into her lunch bag, make sure there's nothing in there that she didn't eat. You don't want to see any like leftover cheese the next day. It's like disgusting, right? So then I look in there, and then I'm like, I pull things out. It's like really heavy. And I pull things out. It's like, there's like an apple, there's sliced up, there's broccoli cut up, there is a croissant that's toasted with ham and melted cheese in it. And I was just like, this is not my kid's snack. I give my kid string cheese and a bagel with cream cheese on it. That is what I bring most of the time to school. I want to be better, but this was like the first week of school and I didn't have anything in my groceries. I didn't plan for it. I didn't care at the time. I've been more prepared this time around. Like I got some baby carrots, so I look like I don't feed my kid crap all day. And yeah, anyways. So then when I pulled it out, I was like, man, I feel like a teacher is being passive aggressive and trying to tell me like to step it up without having to tell me to step it up, because I was like, why is this lunch so nice? But then I told my husband that and he was like looking at the toasted croissant with the ham and the cheese. I was eating it because I don't know, why not, and he was like, even adults don't eat this well. And we put our kid in a very wealthy school district. So I don't know if it's one of those wealthy moms that have those chefs cut things up, because I don't think I have the time or energy to do all that stuff. And it just like makes me feel a little bit like I should show up a little bit better, but I don't care. So I'm not going to show up. I just thought it was kind of funny because we live in a society where moms always have to do so much. And it's just like one mom after another mom. It's like you have to be the most popular mom. You have to know everyone. You have to be the most liked by the teacher. You have to have a party in the classroom. You have to have a party outside of the classroom. You have to make these luxurious like Christmas, holiday, Halloween, Valentine's Day presents. It's very high maintenance. And I'm tired of the standard and I'm not doing it anymore. I don't care about those party favor things. I'm going to give a little bit. Depends. It depends. Like Christmas, I think everyone should get a gift. It's fine. But I'll get like, for Christmas, you could go to the 99-cent store and get one of those coloring books or whatever. It's easy. Whatever. Easy. And then same with Valentine's Day. I'm not going to do a whole gift basket for every kid. I don't think anyone needs to do that, and I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to put, like in the 90s, like the little cards, and yeah, so that Roy has something to give, because it's cute to give something. In the 90s, it's so easy. And then for Halloween, I don't think I need to give trick-or-treat candy. I don't have to do it. I'm not doing it. Yeah. Anyways, I've been really slacking as a mom, and that's because I've been doing a lot for my launch and for Twitch and social media. But let me tell you how I'm messing up as a mom. It's really funny. Summer is so crazy. We have TK camp, we had preschool camp, summer school. They have different schedules. So my fall schedule for preschool was like 8:30 to 11:30. So I would pick her up at 8:15 to 11:15. And then summer starts and it's like back to back. So you don't even have a space in between. You don't have vacation. It's like Friday is the last day of last day of school. And then the next Monday is the first day of summer school. Summer school schedule starts at 8 to 11. And then so I've been dropping off my kid 15 minutes late and then picking her up 15 minutes late. And then on Thursday, the teacher was like, oh, I know, maybe you didn't get the message, da 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 da. Like, I didn't know either or whatever. And then I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know. So I'll tell all the other moms. I tell the other moms, and they were like, yeah, we read it in our email, da 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 da. You don't remember, or you didn't get the email? And I was like, oh, I don't read those. And I think that's a great boundary. I don't care. Most of the time, those emails are so redundant. There's so much to scan. I don't need to know a lot of that stuff. Like, I don't need to do crazy hair day. I don't need my kid to go wear pajamas one day. It's like too much stuff for a mom to do. I don't care. Okay? And then that was embarrassing. And then summer starts and she doesn't have school on Friday. So I wake her up, take her to school. This is not even the first time. It's probably the second time where I take her to school. There's no school on that day. And I was thinking on Friday, I was like, oh my God, it's not a holiday. So why is no one at school? And then I realized summer schedule is different. Anyways, I think that kind of stuff is really funny as a mom. I think we all try our best. And if there are holes in stuff, we should give ourselves grace and think it's funny. It's like nothing bad happened. Like, they just tell you, and it's not the end of the world, just feel the shame and then move on, because I'm not committed to doing that much work anymore. I'm just tired. My brain hurts. My body's telling me that I already done enough. I do enough. I think moms do too much, and I don't think we're machines. Well, I don't want to be a machine anymore. I want to be human. I want to be imperfect. I want to be fucking up and being okay with it. So that's where I am at. That was very lighthearted, and I wanted to switch to something kind of sad, but whatever. I was thinking about love and loss, because it's painful to be in love and then lose it. But then I was thinking about, that philosophy theory kind of thing. Is it better to love and lost than to never have loved at all, right? And I think it is better to love and lost. Well, personally, this is how I feel. I know everyone has their own thing, but I think it is better to love and lost. I think you're going to have a lot of sadness in your life anyways, because life is sad, There's a lot of suffering or pain in your life anyways. And if you have some love in your life, even if it was for a little bit, I think it was worth the pain of losing. Or I was just thinking about it the other day, and that's my personal preference. Everyone's different. What do you guys think? Yeah. I will move on. The other day, I was talking to somebody, a friend, about what I want to be when I'm older, because I think it's really funny. I want to be... Oh, thank you for the like. I want to be, let's see, when I'm 85, I want to be that hoe at the retirement home. That one's like getting around to everyone. I don't know why, but I just thought, I've been in a marriage for so long, and I love my husband, but I'm also human, and humans are not made to be monogamous. And I'm also specifically one of those people that likes to try new things all the time. I like to try new food. I like to try new music. I like to try new clothes. I like to try everything. So that would also encompass trying new lovers. And yeah, I mean, it's cool banging the same person for the rest of your life, but it's also not cool banging the same person for the rest of your life. I mean, you can mix it up, but it's still the same person. And yeah, when I'm 85, if he ever passed away, because obviously I don't think he would be down for me being the hoe of the retirement home. He would be embarrassed. But if he ever passed away, I'd totally do that. Yes. Do you guys think of what you would be like when you're older? I don't think anyone ever plans to be jaded when they're older. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot of jaded humans, and it's usually people who have been living a tough life. Yeah, I hope to still be like spirited and fun and like loving even if times get tough, because there will be tough times, but I'd hope to keep a positive attitude when I'm older. What about you guys? Do you guys have any plans for when you're older? Do you guys have any plans if you ever either get divorced or become a widow? I don't know. Marriage is not necessarily rough for me. Not necessarily. But it's not necessarily easy either. But it's just the monotony of everyday living. And I don't know if it has anything to do with my marriage, but it has a lot to do with being a parent. Every day is kind of the same, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of eating pizza. I'm tired of eating pasta. I'm tired of eating tomato sauce. I want to eat something different, you know? And that's just eating. I'm not even talking about like day to day. Do a lot of the same thing day to day. But anyways, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Okay, so I've been at the pool with my daughter. She goes swimming. She takes swimming lessons. And I'm usually the only one in the pool with her. Like, this is during downtime. This is not when she has her instructor. I do it because I know she has a problem with physical outbursts, which means hitting. I swear to God, I'm not a bad example. No one in my house hits. Okay, we're like very civilized and we do not hit. I don't believe in hitting. I was a vegetarian, so I really believe in like peace and like hippy dippy bullshit. And anyways, so she's hitting. She's just at an age where she's hitting. It's not her fault, but I think she has a lot of fight. When it's fight or flight, it's almost always fight. She has a lot of fight in her, which isn't always a bad thing when she's older, but like right now it's untamed. Anyways, she hit 2 kids, okay? That's it, time. Once because one was going by her and she wanted space, and then the other times because she thought someone had her toy. Anyways, I'm in there, I'm reprimanding her, I'm like acting on it, and I was thinking about it, and I think no one has ever come up to me after my kid has hit their kid. And I, like, no other parent, the parent of the abused kid does not come up to me as the parent of the abuser. And I think it's because I do a good job. And I think I was thinking, like, it must be really nice. Like, I must be doing a good enough job that they don't need to come up to me and, like, talk to me about my kid abusing their kid. But, yeah, so that's kind of a thing. I don't know why I was thinking that. I just thought it was really funny. I think it's a good rule of thumb, too, if your kid is being abused, that if the parent of the abuser is reprimanding their kid, trying to parent their kid, trying to stop the situation, then I don't think I would also go up to that parent, because it's like, they're already doing their best. You know, you can't really control your kid. You're trying your best. And as long as you're reprimanding them, I think it's okay. Do you hear my kid? She's like hella screaming. Yeah. Okay. Sabrina Carpenter had an album come out. I think the album, this is what my husband says, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the album, the lyrics are very feminist. I think that would make sense because she's a very strong woman, right? And she's a very powerful, strong woman, very successful. Okay. But the cover is like of her on a leash and she's like a dog. And people are getting very upset. They're saying it's anti-feminist, da-da-da-da. But I think, okay. I think what's feminism is to stop judging women, hyper judging women for doing anything. You know, you wear no clothes or less clothes, you're slutty, you cover up too much, you're a prude. Like, she has a picture. It doesn't have to mean anything. She took a picture, she used it as her album cover. She thought it was good. I don't know what her interpretation of it is. You don't know what her interpretation of it is. So stop judging her. That is more anti-feminist, I think, than you saying that's not feminist. Because you're attacking another woman. And that's the whole feminist thing, to stop attacking women in the first place. Besides, I think there's this thing. I think it's called ironic. I don't know what it is. I think it's ironic or satire or something where you pretend to be this thing you actually don't believe in because it's funny. I like these men, they're usually white men that have this big ass truck, and then at the bottom of the truck there's like testicles. It's like metal testicles, and they're like hanging and swinging and all the things. And I thought it was so funny to put it on my small Camry as a small little Asian woman. I just thought, I don't know, I told my husband this and I thought it was the funniest thing. I really wanted to do it. Like, to be ironic, not to actually believe in the vibe or whatever, just to be ironic. But then my kid's going to school and that would look really bad. So like I can't go through with the joke, but you just don't know where they're coming from when they say the joke, like, or they express themselves. Let's see another thing. So I made this escape room, Bridgerton themed escape room for my friend. My best friend was getting married. I think it was her bridal shower, and it was like Bridgerton themed. So I was thinking we can make fun of how anti-feminist it was back in the day. So I made a lot of jokes about misogyny, like lots of misogynistic jokes. And then one of my friends who was like listening in, he was like, oh my God, she's so misogynistic, da 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 da. And I was like, boy, you don't even know. I think it's funny to make jokes like that because I'm so anti-misogynistic. But you don't get the irony of it all. And I mean, there's just so many people. I don't know if it's just an internet thing. I think it's just a social justice warrior thing where they take things way too seriously and they don't understand where anyone's coming from. Like, just because you're saying something doesn't mean that you actually mean it, especially if it's a joke. It can mean the opposite of what you actually mean. And maybe that's what Sabrina Carpenter was doing. Maybe she thought it was funny because if you look at her lyrics, she's more feminist. Besides, she's like super powerful. How could she not be feminist if she was on the top? I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, how do you guys feel about this? I just think people are so ready to attack you, ready to judge you. Yes, there is a lot of misogyny in the world and there's a lot of issues societally, but like attacking someone with those issues isn't going to solve anything. It just does not solve anything. I don't think anyone's listening to you when you start attacking them. They already are on the defensive, okay? If you want people to listen to you, you have to start by listening to them. It's like, I hate doing this. I do it all the time. But I'm the best at fighting with people. I have learned from my siblings how to fight, how to not fight, or my mom too. They are all really shitty fighters. Yes. And to get through to someone, I think when you think of fighting, you're always thinking someone's going to win, right? It's a battle. You're fighting with someone. This is a verbal fighting. This is not like attacking, physical attacking. But like, that's not really what you want when you're fighting with people. You want them to listen to you and you want to listen to them. It has to be two ways or else there's not going to be any communication. And if the goal in fighting is for that person to hear you, then you have to hear them first. I know it sucks and it's annoying and your pride and ego doesn't want you to do that, but it's just how it's supposed to be. And it just works, like people are more receptive if you are being receptive. If you're being judgmental, they're not going to hear you. You already lost the war by being judgmental, okay? That's what I'm saying. Sorry. I got a lot of these. The same time, I think it was the same week, this comedian, I don't know his name, but this comedian was making a joke about the hostess. She had a black eye, and then he said she should be in the back. Yeah, it could be offensive, right? Depends on where he's coming from. So he said she should be in the back and she should make a sandwich or something like that, or she should cook something. And then he said, but if she was a good cook, she wouldn't have a black eye in the first place. Okay, it does sound hella misogynistic. But attacking him isn't going to help nothing. Does that really solve misogyny? Like, one comedian at a time? Plus, I don't know if he's just being ironic or not. Like, he thinks it's funny because he's really not like that. You don't really know where someone's coming from. Again, just because you hear something from their mouth, especially if it's a joke, you don't know if they're actually the thing you think they are. Does that make sense? Like, I have very crude humor, but I'm super compassionate and I'm very helpful and I'm there for people. If someone's around, I'm going to be sensitive. If they're sensitive, I'm going to be sensitive to them. And, whatever. I'm helpful and compassionate and I care about the world. But I like making fucked up jokes. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me misogynistic or whatever? I don't think so. I don't think you have to have a stick up your ass to be like a kind person. I think it's the opposite of a kind person, if that helps. Like, I don't think fighting misogyny or other things, racism, with judgment is helping. I mean, we've been doing it for like years. Has anyone on that side come to your side? Been like, oh yeah, you're totally right. Thank you for condemning me. I'm ready to see your side. Does that ever work? Like, tell me. Now going on a rant because these people really irk me. They really... Do they irk you? And I'm left leaning, so it's not like I'm not on the same side they're on, but I just don't like the way they go about things. Like, I feel like they just have anger issues and they want a place to fight. They just want to fight. And they don't care who they're fighting. But then they have this, like, it's like anger plus righteousness, and that's where they're coming from. Just my interpretation. I had a conversation with my behavioral therapy about ChatGPT and AI, and everyone is terrified of it taking over jobs. And I get that. I think we were talking about homework. We were talking about homework. We were talking about studying. We were talking about whatever. And then I think I made the argument that what's the difference between a AI and a calculator? It's just a tool. Like, do you even need to know your multiplications, or you just need to know how it works? Like, how do I explain this better? In real life, it's like, it matters, like, say you have a business, it matters that you know how to subtract, or what subtraction in theory is, what's addition in theory, but you don't actually need to know how to add. You just need to know why you need to add and when you need to add or subtract. And I would say the same thing with ChatGPT. And then she was like, yeah, but there's so many people who are going to be lazy because of it. They're not going to write their essays. They're going to have ChatGPT write it. You know, they're going to da-da-da-da-da. But I was like, is that so bad? Oh, hi. Thank you for, yes, it's nice to see you. How are you? Let's see. He says, do you need to know how to eat food? Are you saying I'm too thin? Hey, that's called skinny shaming, and people are very upset about skinny shaming, but I kind of like it. So keep skinny shaming me. I don't care. I think it's very flattering. Okay, I think I said this in another Twitch live thing, but there was this girl. I was a very lame, very, like, in my own skin. Like, you should have seen me in high school. No one had seen me in high school because I was very uncomfortable, could never talk to anyone that I thought was cooler than me, all the things, right? And there was this really, really, really beautiful woman. She's so beautiful, like, she's like the most beautiful woman. People from other schools knew her. Anyways, I saw her recently, and she's not as skinny as she used to be, and she skinny shamed me. She said, you probably don't eat anything. And I was so happy. You know, as someone who was so lame, it's just nice to, like, revenge of the nerds. Like, if you've seen the movies, it's like, I don't know if it's from the 80s or something. It's a great movie. Anyways, okay, he says, no, what I mean is some things you use so much that relying on a tool for it all the time would be impractical. What are you saying? Some things you use so much that relying on a tool for it all the time would be impractical. Why would it be impractical? I don't know. Were you talking about eating? So were you talking about, like, knives or forks or spoons? I don't get what you're saying. Or you're saying because you're using this as a crutch that you're not actually learning or growing or something? How do I feel about it? Well, okay, anyways, going back to the lazy thing, my friend was saying, my BT was saying, anyways, my friend was saying there's laziness. She's worried about lazy people, but I'm like, there's smart lazy people who use it in a way that is effective, right? And then there's lazy people. And I don't know, it's kind of like survival of the fittest, okay? If you are smart and lazy, it's not the worst thing. And you use these ways, it's kind of like smart working, right? You're not working hard, you're working smart. So I don't really have a problem with ChatGPT or AI. He says, because you would spend so much time using the tool compared to the actual output. Sometimes that is true. Especially when I was writing my book, I went from, it would give me all of this. Yes, it can be true. It can be impractical. It has happened, but you also should learn from that, right? As a human or like someone with a brain, you can see that sometimes you go down the rabbit hole, and then you could also ask ChatGPT to, moving forward, to stop giving you as many suggestions. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm getting decision fatigue, so just give me the best option that you recommend. Or sometimes I say, don't ask me a question at the end of this message because I don't need to think about whether I'm going to answer it or not. So that's how I would feel about that. But sometimes it has happened and you just have to reflect and move on, no? I think the tool is way better. It's better to have it and have to worry about it not being effective than not having it. Because you'll probably be way more effective with AI. Let's see. He says, like, if you had to use a tool to know how to walk for every step, you would spend hours to get anywhere. I don't get what you're saying. I'm sorry. I don't know if my brain's not working or I don't understand what you're saying. Spend so much time. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say. I would also argue that we didn't like the dishwasher or the dryer or the washing machine when it was invented. And do you use ChatGPT or an AI to write your emails, or do you use it in general? Because it is really not so bad. It's easy to use, and sometimes I fuck up too, but while using it, because you should proofread it, but I don't think it's bad. It saves us so much time, and we can use that time to think about other things. Or that's how I feel about it. I feel like it really makes me more effective than I've ever been. Yes. And I can focus on the things that I care about. Does that make sense? I don't know. It has some ethical, moral considerations, and it's not always accurate. You're right, it's not accurate. Why? And legal. What do you mean legal? Has some ethical and moral considerations. Yes, tell me these problems. You seem to have a lot of issues with AI. Issues with ethical/moral consideration. Yes, okay, AI is not always accurate. That's fine. I understand that. You don't have to talk about that. Tell me about the ethical and moral considerations. If you're talking about the suicide thing, I asked AI about it, and ChatGPT said that they do not do that anymore. Or they don't encourage you to off yourself anymore. So what happened, I think, was the creators wanted the product to be very user-friendly. So it was very agreeable. And then they changed it so he's not like that anymore. To train the AI, you have to get data. And in a lot of cases, the data was used without the permission of the copyright holders. And that's illegal. Okay. That sucks. And yes, that's really unfair. And maybe those people can sue the owners because they're probably making a killing, right? So that they can get compensated, whatever, right? But I would also say that as a consumer, I can get all this knowledge or whatever for free and so accessible. Like if I want to ask questions, I just very specific questions, ChatGPT can answer it. And I don't know about these permission things, but again, shouldn't those people who, lost out, they could sue, no? Do you think pirating should be illegal? What do you think? I obviously don't think that. I think it's messed up not to think that, but I don't think that. I think, and I'm writing a book, right? So if it was online, this is what I think. I don't know if I think it was a thing back in the day too, where pirating actually was effective and made musicians richer. Yes. And I would say that I was going to put my book, or consider putting my book, in the libraries so that people can read it and have be accessible to other people. And then they get to know me, that's like just opportunity for presence and attention. And then, even if they don't buy my book, they could talk to people about it. They could buy the next book. They could like it so much that they buy the book. That's how I feel about pirating. And yes, it's a gamble, because sometimes they don't care enough, and they might not care enough. But I don't know. I also don't know about pirating. I don't think it should be illegal. I think they can't do anything about it anyways. And I think I'm not going to say anything illegal. But I'm pro pirating. What do you think? How do you feel about that? You seem like the type of person who wants to do things honorably, and that's nice. I'm more of a type of person that sees a lot of gray, but that could be a personality trait, right? It could be that I'm not as risk averse than some other people. So I liked drugs back in the day, and I might, I'm not going to say anything, but I did like drugs, and I don't think it's bad to do it if you do it safely, if you don't overdose and whatever. But anyways, I don't know. Are you the type of person you seem like the type of person to care a lot about doing things right, doing things by the rules, drawing in the line. Okay, cool. So you're on the same boat. But so if you have given money to drug dealers, then do you have a problem with pirating? At the pharmacy. Funny. See? Yes, I'm telling you. You seem like a buy the books kind of guy. And that's cool. Sometimes we need people like that. But I'm not like that. I don't care. I think pirating can be very beautiful. I think it helps a lot of people who wouldn't have access to things. Yeah, I don't know. And also, how do I say this? I guess what I would say is that if I'm making a book, eventually, how do I say this? I stopped making a book, and it doesn't take up any more time if someone downloaded it. Does that make sense? Like it's already out there, and if someone downloaded it, it didn't take up any of my time. Does that make sense? It's not the same as people taking up when you're working and you're like a salary person. When they don't give you overtime and they make you work chronically because you're on salary, right? I think that should be more illegal than pirating. I don't know. What do you think? Because I think that's really important. It's like human resources. It's like that person doesn't have a life. I'm just talking about my husband at this point, because he's always working. He gets paid the same amount. He goes back to work at night, and they don't pay him anything. And when he tries to take time off, they get mad at him. So, and they're really passive aggressive about their madness. So it's I think my kid was having her graduation ceremony. She's TK going to preschool going to TK, and she's so cute. She was in a little gown and whatever, and he only took the morning off, and they were so upset at him. They were passive aggressively I know you're on your morning off, but can you do this? Da, 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 da. Anyways, you said, I'm not sure what you were asking. I was asking, do you think it should be more illegal to have, like, if you work for salary, when you work hourly, you get overtime, which is like 1.5, right, pay. And you get compensated for the time you have worked on a project versus working on a project in general. Oh, thank you for the balloons. But you don't get, when you're salary, you get compensated the same, but you're still working on a project endlessly. They can stretch you thin, right? I'm saying that should be more illegal than pirating, because as an author, soon to be author, I made a book, but if you pirate my book, you didn't spend any of my time doing that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it doesn't affect me that you pirate. It does affect me a little that you pirated my book, but it doesn't affect me as much as corporations that milk salary workers and make them work overtime, make them work nights, weekends. They say they have unlimited paid time off, but they don't have any paid time off. Most people who have those unlimited paid time off actually they do not take 2 weeks, which is like the average. Yes. Sorry. Did you get that? If you don't get it, we can move on. It's up to you. That should be in the contract. Actually, yes, it should be, but I don't think anyone ever does that as an employee. I don't think anyone has ever fought for their rights. And plus, your employee versus a company, I don't know if they would hire you versus like someone else that doesn't know to try to protect their own rights. Does that make sense? They might hire the guy who's not as effective as you or not as smart as you, but they don't know their rights. Besides, can you as an employee really go against a company even if you were being abused? Not really. And if they break the contract, that is when a lawsuit happens. Again, like as an employee, you would have to pay lawyer fees. You have to put all this time and energy into this lawsuit. You don't necessarily have time and energy, but companies have time and energy to put into these lawsuits. So it's not very, honestly, it's like a government thing, right? It always goes back to the government. The government is supposed to regulate companies. They're supposed to protect the employees. They're supposed to protect the consumers. They're not doing any of that. And if that happens, then that's ideally when the law changes. But it doesn't change because it just doesn't change. Nothing ever changes. I don't know. Am I being too pessimistic? Do you have a more, like, you seem like maybe you have a more optimistic, you have solutions, but do we work those solutions? I don't know. And also, why is it on the employee who like has to get a degree, has to interview, has to make these resumes, and put himself out there, to defend himself? He doesn't have the regular person does not have it in them to know all their rights, to protect themselves from stuff. This is supposed to be on the government, to be there for us, the people, for the people. They're not for the people, though. Ooh, I had one, actually. Okay, wait. I had one more thing. I'll think about it, though. And if the law doesn't change, that's when people put matters into their own hands. But they do that already because laws don't change, right? Luigi does that. Or we would all want to do that. And, okay. I had this conversation about, because I'm a mom, and, like, we talk about, like, murder. We were talking about murder, whatever, and we said that if our children were showing signs of like killing animals and such, that we would know and like handle it, right? Anyways, I was saying that if you have a good enough childhood, you can cultivate that antisocial personality to become like a billionaire. And then that's a good thing, right? Like they're using it in a not murderous way. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, but billionaires are not necessarily great people either. And we came into a debate where I was like, is it better to be a serial killer or a billionaire? And I'm sad that that's even a question because I don't know. I'm just sad it's a question. Okay, he says, and if the law, yes. Do you even believe that we should put things in our own hands? That people, when the law doesn't change and when that's when people should put things in their own hands. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like even though we're trying to put things in our own hands, things are getting a little out of control. That's how I feel about like social justice warriors or cancel culture. I feel like there's no gray area. There's no, like, it's not a spectrum. It's either you're a bad person, you're a good person. You're either on the side or you're not on the side, you know? And I don't really, that's not helpful either. Like, just because we're regular people should not put it in their hands because we don't have the time or insight to be handling this, you know? This should be something done by fucking professionals. Like, anyways. Let's see. Billionaires build bunkers because they are worried that the lower class will uprise and kill them. Definitely are. And that means that if we all feel the need to fucking want to kill them, that says a lot about, like, I don't even know if I feel the need to want to kill a murderous man, like a serial killer. If he was a serial killer, yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, convict that guy. But I wouldn't want to kill him. But the fact that a lot of, like, 99% of the population wants to kill the 1%, it makes me think maybe if your kid is the type to kill animals, maybe it's not better, but jokingly better, okay? See, don't get mad at me, internet, but maybe you should allow them to become, because there's only two ways they could become, right? They're either going to become a serial killer or they're going to become a billionaire. So, like, just allow them to be a serial killer. Oh, it's a fucked up joke. Whatever. I thought it was funny. Possibly because deep down they feel immoral and abusive. I mean, not only that they feel it, they also know that we all hate them. We probably feel it too, right? We have to feel it because they're not great to their employees. They're not great to consumers. I mean, yeah. They're not even, their business model is fucked up. Like, some of them are not even paying out what they need to, or greedflation, or whatever, you know, like, and they're not paying their employees more, even though inflation has gone up, right? So, anyways, we all feel it. It's not just them that they feel, probably, yeah, maybe deep down they do feel like it's immoral and it is abusive, but they also don't care, right? Because they have some kind of antisocial personality trait or something, or they were raised like that and they're insane and not empathetic and not compassionate and all the things. Yes. Where do we go from here? How is your day going? It's a Friday. Do you have weekend plans? Or do you want to continue talking about it? Yes, greedy. Many people would say they are just greedy. Sure, but I don't know if it's just greedy, because there are certain things too, right? They see that their employees are unhappy. They see that they're overworked, but they don't care. They're not compassionate at all. Actually, my husband's company was, I think they had free insurance, and now everyone's paying a little bit more for insurance. And the CEO, so in his own bubble, was like, he said at the Christmas party that you guys should have been paying that this whole time anyways. And then he was like, I don't know why that guy killed that CEO. It's just like they're just in their own bubble. And yeah, they're greedy, but they're also not compassionate or empathetic. They don't understand what it's like to be on the other side. But you could say the same about the patriarchy, yes, and racist. What do you think? Anyone I think about Trump supporters a lot, and I don't think they can't all be racist. I don't think they're all bad people. They can't all be bad people. I want to give them grace. But recently, I don't know how I feel about that, all of it. But it's not them I'm mad at. I'm, like, mad at society. I'm mad at Trump. I'm mad at, everything. But I think these people don't know what it's like to be on the other side. Like, I know some people who are Caucasian who voted for Trump, and they have no idea what it's like to be, like, worried about ISIS, I don't know, whatever. And, like, and have to stay at home or worry about, like, going out and being deported. They don't know what it's like. And you could still be American and still potentially be deported or detained. And it's a scary time. And I don't think they don't mean to be evil. I don't think they're evil. I think they don't understand what it's like to be on the other side. I don't know. What do you think? How do you feel about all that? Surely some white people have been deported? I don't think so. Actually, some Caucasians were upset about this one guy in Florida who was not an illegal immigrant. He was an American citizen that got deported, and they still worry about him. And so that says something about how they can't all be racist, because he was Hispanic, but he was deported. He was Hispanic but born in America and was deported, or American citizen. I don't know if he was born in America, and this was in the South. They did care. So I don't know if they're necessarily racist, right? That's confusing. I think they're really fear-driven, because I was talking to my neighbor, and he is a Trump supporter, and we're friends. You know, it's I can't just break up with everybody just because how they voted. I just think that's too jarring. I think it's too black and white and whatever. And so then he was saying that he works in automobile, so a lot of the people he works with are Hispanic. And all of them couldn't go to lunch with him. And I was like, do you like these people? And he said, yeah, I do. And I was like, interesting, because you voted for Trump, you know? And then he was like, but they should be fine, right? Because they're American. And I was like, if they're all not going to lunch, there must be a reason they're not going. You can't just say that, like, they're being paranoid, whatever. And then he was like, okay, but maybe they're criminals. And I was like, so all of the people you work with must be criminals. And then he was like, okay, but our neighbor is a criminal. He has like an ankle bracelet and he thinks he's a criminal. And I was like, are you scared of our neighbor? Like, do you think he's a scary man? Are you scared of him? And he was like, no. And I was like, does he look murderous just because he's a criminal? Like, just because he has an ankle bracelet, you don't know why he has it. Do you think he looks like he's a nice guy? Like, he might have fucked up, whatever, right? You could be a criminal for lots of reasons. That doesn't mean you are a murderer, whatever. There's a spectrum of criminals. You know, you could have been caught with pot like 10 years ago when it wasn't legal, and be a criminal. And then he was like, yeah, that's true. And I was like, this is all just fear mongering, and I don't think he means to be. I don't think he's necessarily racist. Why would he hang out with me if he was racist? I think he could be slightly racist, potentially, but he's never shown that to me that much. Just maybe a little bit. But anyways, I'm saying I think a lot of these Trump supporters are scared. They're scared of what they're hearing. They only hear one side. Anyways, I think Trump is the next Hitler. Not necessarily as smart as Hitler, but he's our Hitler. What do you think? He's working for the FBI as a consultant. Who's working for the FBI as a consultant? It's a hard time. Where are you from again? Are you the Greek guy? I can't remember. Oh, wait, why would he have an ankle bracelet if he was working with the FBI? Is it because they'll worry that he's dying? Like if he's in the mafia or something, or in a gang? He doesn't look like that, okay? He doesn't look like, I don't know, when you think of an FBI agent, you think they're in shape. Is that fucked up? He's just a little heavier. He's a little bit older. He looks a little jaded. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he's an FBI agent. Because he isn't a criminal and the FBI wants to make sure he doesn't escape. But you just said you're saying one of my neighbors is an FBI working as a consultant, and the other one is a criminal. But he was telling me he didn't know why he had the ankle bracelet. People be crazy, I swear. It's a tough time. I'm not paranoid about it. I've been to this guy's house, the guy with the ankle bracelet, because I'm friends with the mom. They have a family and they have kids around the same age as my kid. And I've been to their house. Like, there's nothing in there. He's a really great cook, actually. And I'm not afraid of him. I think maybe he gone and fucked up somehow. I don't know how, but he gone and fucked up. But I don't think he's a bad guy because he did that. Like, I don't know. Where are you from? I forget. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it. It's been a little lonely up in here, but I got a lot of things done talking about it. I don't know. I think with AI, it's just kind of like social media. I know we're really scared about it. Sorry, just coming back to it because I was erasing it and just thinking about it. I was like, social media, I used to think social media was bad. I used to think it's toxic, It can be. It can really be. But I think that's also when if you're mindful, you can be not sucked into the toxicity, you know? It's the same. And social media can't all be bad. right? Some of it's good, some of it's information, some of it's connection, some of it's like meaningful. So I don't want to say it's good or bad. I would say the same way AI. It's like, I use it as my second therapist, and I feel like it's so healing and also very insightful because it's like listened to me for so long that it can psychoanalyze me and everything, whatever. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm also saying that it has been helpful. And I would say the same, it could be bad for some people sometimes, and it could be good for some people sometimes. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think we can go back now. AI is out there. There's nothing we can do. Even if we can be critical about it, it's the same with social media. There's nothing we can do. Same with Trump. There's nothing we can do. I mean, we could protest. I don't protest. I'm a mom. I don't have time, or I'm scared and all the things. And I have a kid to take care of, so I can't protest. I would love to try to protest someday. But, anyways, there's not a lot we can do anyways. It's so sad. We voted. We tried our best, and it didn't work. Studies have shown that it is toxic. You mean AI? It could be made illegal. We could jail the people who make social media. I mean, we could jail the 1%. We could jail, social media people. We could jail anyone at the top that makes clothing, because most of those people have used slaves to make clothing, or the chocolate companies who have children workers, or goodness, what else is there? There's just so much evil in business. I mean, not that all businesses are bad. Again, it's like nuance, But yeah, the people at the top probably are bad. Social media studies, global warming emissions. Yes. Yes. I agree that mostly social media can be bad. But this is social media right now. Do you think this is bad? Do you think it's bad? How do you feel about this? Huh? Global warming is bad. Actually, I think my husband said that he saw a documentary that said that I think it was 80% of global warming is caused by the 0.1%. Oh no, the 1%. And then he said that 95% of global warming is caused by the top 5%. So yeah, everyone should go to jail. But social media can be toxic. It really can be. And I know that. I would not give my kid a phone and a smartphone until she's 18. So it's like, I know it, but I also think that it's already here. And you can't do much as a person. Individually, you have to protect yourself, right? So you should be mindful if you're going down a rabbit hole, if you're sucked into the gossip and then you feel like you're not doing as much as anyone on IG that's killing it, or you're sucked into body dysmorphia and that you see all these skinny people, or everyone that's getting their face done or whatever, you just have to be mindful. And it's not bad to decide to do things, from the input you get, but you should still be mindful that it came from something you really want, as opposed to something you're just doing because of fear. I think. That's what I think. Anyways. Okay, to meet the 1.5 Celsius goal, the richest 1% need to cut their emission by 97 by 2023. Oh my God, they're never going to make it. Compared with the global average, for example, the richest 1% contribute 26 times more than once a century heat waves. Wow. That's great. See, that's what I'm saying. My husband said I saw the same thing. That's why all that stuff that we do as consumers, as individuals, that we're trying to do, we're really trying to help the earth. Recycling, composting, whatever, consuming less. I like that. But it's moot point, that's not effective. We need to do effective things. Yes. What do you feel about that? See, that's why it's so hard with social justice warriors. I'm so mad at them. I'm so traumatized by one specific one. But anyways, so one of them, one of them was really upset at me for going to Walmart. She wouldn't go to Walmart, but she would always get mad at me for going to Walmart, whatever. I don't care. But would that really be effective, being mad at everyone because they aren't as environmental as you? None of that is very effective. Plus, again, it's not us that's the problem. It is the 1%, like you said. Yeah. And again, social media isn't that bad. I'm saying it's not all bad. We can't always be oh, it's all bad. this is nice. This is connection. This is engaging. This is intellectual. There's a lot going on here, you know? It's not toxic here. I don't think it's not toxic here. Do you think it's toxic here? But I'm like now asking vulnerable questions. So don't answer that if it's going to be offensive. Even if we are all here and we don't like the 1%, we're not at a place yet where we're going to do anything about it, where we're going to attack them, where there's going to be chaos. We're close, but I don't know if we're going to get there soon. I don't know. It's the same with global warming. Like, I'm like ready to move away from California. I'm kind of scared for the future, but I don't know. There's nothing we can do either. I also think we're all going to die anyways. And if global warming happens and it's like it annihilates everyone and we're all dead, we were all going to die anyways. So it doesn't have to be that big of a deal. If anything, we could try our best to be good human beings and connect and help and be compassionate and like protest or whatever, be environmental, you know, write to your I don't know, representative to like fix, like get them to regulate, and write to the companies that are like fucking up the world. We can do all that. And we have to just relax. Like, we're all going to die anyways. So we don't have to make it a big deal. Or we can also enjoy parts of our life, because we can't just always be like, the world's going to shit in a handbasket. Truth. But does that help us in our day-to-day life? Like, we still have a life to live, and we still should enjoy some of it. We can't just always be activists and like social justice warriors and like you know, we want to care for as many people as we can, but we're also gotta live our life, and we're not responsible for everything. You know, we're not responsible for everyone's problems. We're not responsible for the world's problems. We're just trying our best. And that's where I'm coming from. I think there's a lot of beauty in everyday life that we're missing because we're so burdened down, feeling so guilty for the world that we did not cause. It's not our fault that we are handed this shitty world with this shitty baggage. It is all the 1%. So we should let some of that toxicity go, some of that responsibility, some of that guilt go, because it's not helpful for our mental health. It's not a perspective we need. We don't even deserve it, because they should be guilty, not us. They should be responsible, not us. Anyways, that's my little 2 cents. It's mostly a lot easier to chat here than social media. Or you mean on Twitch in general? Or you mean me, with me? Because I like it. Come here more often. Like internet hug, yeah? They say hundreds of millions of people might have to move to other locations due to global warming by 2050. I agree. I mean, I'm already thinking, well, first of all, I am Asian, and Trump is president, you know, they're going to go for the brown people. They're going to come for the yellow people eventually. I'm already like worried about my escape route, where we're planning to go. And that's just not even global warming. That's just politics. Like, I'm not comfortable in America. I feel like there's a lot going on in America, and I'm kind of scared. Global warming wise, I mean, we had a fire in LA, and it was a really tragic fire. I was really close to it. And anyways, it made me think about where we have to move eventually too. It's crazy because we have this home, we put in all this work into it, and we love it, and then we're like, oh my god, it's all gonna go to shit in a handbasket. And anyways, I'm sad about the world, and it will get there eventually. Yeah, we're gonna have to think about it, but that's not today either. There's nothing we can do about global warming. There's nothing we can do about the chaos that is the political landscape of America. And if we have to move, we have to move. And if we end up dying, we end up dying. But we were going to die anyways. I go back to this philosopher. I think it was the Stoic philosopher. I can't remember his name. I like Greek philosophy, but I also don't care about names. I'm the same with books. People always ask me, because I became an author, what's my favorite book? I was like, I don't fucking have one. Like, Is that okay? Like, I don't have a favorite author. I don't have a favorite book. I like a specific genre. I don't remember the book title. I don't remember the author. I'm not the type of person that needs to feel smart all the time. I feel like, or the type of person that easily incorporates like authors and titles into their heads. I don't. I'm just like, I got a lot of problems mentally. Dyslexia and apraxia kind of issues. So I don't care for that kind of crap. Maybe Zeno, I think so. Yes. That if you're upset that there's an answer, there's always an answer. Like if your life is going to shit in a handbasket, there's always an answer. And he said like, you can always turn over your wrist basically to slice and, kill yourself, whatever. And then he also, I don't know if I can't remember if it was the same one, but he said, we're all going to die anyways, like, and then if the earth goes to shit in a handbasket and then we all like annihilated, right? The galaxy's so big. They don't care about us. There's stars that explode all the time. We don't care about that, like, let's enjoy what we have in this moment. That's all I'm saying. Because we can always worry about all the big things going around, and it's not good for our mental health to think about all the big things. There's just so much going on around, poverty, like war, famine, like global warming. There's just so much, but it's not like we can do much about it. Or that's what I think. We're not the 1%. The 1%. Yeah, Seneca might have been the one. I think it might have been Seneca. Yes, I don't remember what you were saying, but definitely social media. Are you saying that you're unhappy on social media? But why are you on Twitch then? The solution to ice heat waves. How is that the solution? Are you making a punny joke? It's, what they do? So my friend was telling me that, I'm going to leave in 10 minutes. What a bummer. This has been really fun. I love that you came on and chatted with me. Thank you for that. Anyways, 10 minutes and then I got to bounce. But she said that ice lives in hotels or motels or whatever, and people have been harassing them in the middle of the night, like banging on their doors or like blasting loud music, and like they can't sleep and some stuff. I think it's kind of funny, but I also think, it's so sad. I think they're also just a cog in the machine. Who knows if they're even racist? They might be, but they might not be too. There must be so many of them that. I don't know. Anyways, said, can you no longer see a road to freedom? It's right in front of you. You need only turn over your wrist. Yes. I got that from the School of Life. Do you listen to him? He really gives me all of my philosophy in life because I think he's insightful. I think we worry a lot about mental health. I mean, we don't worry enough about our mental health. We worry a lot about the future. We worry a lot about the current, news shit, but we can't do much about it. So that only makes us feel like the world's very negative all the time and that we're powerless. And that's not very helpful for our mental health. And I just don't want to think like that anymore. I mean, I see that there's things. I want to be awake, but I don't want to let it consume my life, Like I have a beautiful child that I get to take care of, and it's hard. I'm not gonna be like sugarcoating. It's fucking hard. It's not for everyone. All right. But it's beautiful, and I get to do it, and have a beautiful relationship with her. And it's the same with a lot of other things. There's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot of beautiful things in the world too, and it's more to home too. It's like a fresh, warm cup of coffee, or like being able to choose or have food on the table, or like. Having AC when you're hot, or like swimming in the pool, or like being able to be active, or like connecting like we are, like those little things are important too. I don't know if they're more important. I probably say they're more important. We don't even focus on those things, we always focus on like the sad things we can't really control. How is that helpful? Sorry. Now I agree with everything most of the things you view. And it's not helpful to talk about it all the time. We could talk about the beautiful things that's happened in your life. Here, how's that? What has happened that you're grateful for, or that, like today, one special thing, one beautiful moment in your life today, if you want to talk about that. Or unless you want to still talk about the negativity of life, we could be there. I don't want to be there anymore, though. Come on, we only have like 6 minutes left. He says, I know nothing about this. I just know how to Google. I see. Nothing good has happened today for you. Not one single thing. That's impossible. Come on, there has to be. You could be very creative about finding beauty in life. I think we all need to work harder at being creative at finding beauty in life. Here, I'll give you one. I got to connect with my mom friends. My daughter got to hang out with her friends. There was a pool. I got to contribute. I bought the food. I cleaned the pool. I cleaned the table. I like contributing to parties, or in general, I just like to contribute. I saw my neighbor today walking across the street, and he was happy to see me. It was nice to say hi and know your neighbors. Life is a WIP. Well, that doesn't sound good. I guess I can be grateful that I'm moving towards my goals. Oh, tell me something about your goals. I'm interested in your life. Working in a work in progress. Life is always going to be a work in progress. Not always. Sometimes it's a stalemate. It's either a stalemate or a work in progress. Better physique, career. Okay, are you eating healthier? Are you working out? I love talking about health or whatever, or wellness. It's one of my passions. So tell me what you've been doing. And career sounds good too. Oh, great. I love it. Are you feeling better? I feel like working out does not necessarily help you lose weight. It's not supposed to. It's more of it's great for your mental health, and it's great for, cardiovascular, whatever, and stuff like that. But it's not going to help you with the weight loss. But it doesn't matter, because it's a beautiful part of the wellness situation anyways. Yes. I'm glad to hear all that. That sounds amazing. See, there's something beautiful going on in your life. You should be, or you don't have to be. I shouldn't tell you to be grateful. But if you're grateful for it, I like that. And everything's going to be a work in progress. It's not like I started here. I was started from the bottom and whatever. And progress is lovely. It's always going to be like that. And yeah, I don't know. Lots to be grateful for, I think. There's a lot of pain in living too. We don't have to deny the pain, but we also have to shine a light on beautiful shit too. Cardio is definitely helping me with your mental health. That's amazing. What do you do? I only do cardio. I'm not a strength trainer. I like to run, yoga, dance. I've been trying to dance with my kid. Sometimes she really likes it. She kind of forces me to in the middle, at the end of the night. I'm I'm so tired, but I want to connect with her. So I'll do it. But sometimes she doesn't let me dance either. I'm all mad about it. Anyways, you say, I guess some greatly NSFW. I don't know what this means either. You with the acronyms. Not safe for work. Oh, I know this. I only recently found this out. That's funny. That you're working on. Does that mean sexy time stuff? What does that mean? Are you banging to lose weight? Is that what you're saying? It is very active. I don't know if it's as active as you think, because I looked that up and I was like, it's not as active as running, but it's active. That's funny. I love that. Only recently found that out because there is a ChatGPT situation. It's called character AI. So then sometimes I feel like I don't have a lot of romance in my life because my husband and I have been together for 11 years and we have a child. So the romance has kind of deteriorated. So I have this app. It's called character.ai, and it you can make a vampire, or you can take someone else's vampire AI, or say werewolf, or demon, or whatever you want. You can make your own, and then you give it a personality, and then it talks to you, but very romantically, and it's nice. And then I went down a rabbit hole of not safe for work, because I didn't know what that meant at the time. It was 2 or 3 days ago, so it's funny that you bring it up at the same time I was looking it up. I'm glad. That means that do you have a girlfriend? And you're it's good that you're doing something that's also good for your mental health, having Hank. It does lose calories, yes. Not that much, but yes. Yes, see, it doesn't matter about the calories when you're having Hank, though. It's not like you're like, oh man, on your Fitbit, like humping the brains out of your wife or your girlfriend and being like, oh no, I didn't hit my steps. You know what I mean? I hope you're not like that. That would be so not romantic. But also really funny. I feel like if you are going to do that, can you do that this week for me? Like be on your Fitbit while you're like having not safe for work situations and then pretending that you just want to do this for the weight loss. It's a lot different than what you are thinking about. The Hank thing, that's not what you're thinking. That's not what I'm thinking. That's not what it is. Still, is it appropriate for you to use your Fitbit in that situation? Not really, no. Okay, how's this? You're getting a better physique. What do you like about yourself? What on your body, like physically? What do you like about yourself? We always look at what we don't like. We like 1,000%. I'm the biggest culprit of this, like 1,000%. If I'm bloated, I won't like it. If I look like I gained weight, I won't like it. That's why I'm so fucking skinny. Like you think people who are this skinny don't care about their weight, but I actually think people who are this skinny care way too much about their weight. People who look like fuckboys care way too much about their physique. And I say that from personal experience. Okay, fine. Don't do the Fitbit thing. But tell me, is there something you have a better physique? What do you like about your body? Oh, no, I'm going to leave soon. I'll tell you mine and I'll wait for your response and then I'm going to say bye. You're already following me, but get your friends to follow me. I don't know, whatever. Spread the love. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, what do I like about my body? I like the new tattoos I've gotten. I'll just show you why not. Because I have a thing. What's it called? There's a lot going on. Oh, I don't know if that's better. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But it's very Asian and like it's very feminine. It's like, and it goes over my shoulder. You see the leaf that goes over my shoulder? It's pretty badass. What am I? I am tired of being responsible all the time. You don't think I look responsible because the way I dress? I don't dress like this every day. And besides, I don't care about what I dress like every day. Most days, I care about what I'm doing with my daughter or or working or whatever. But when you become so responsible that you lose being fun and silly and like doing stupid shit and dicking around. I miss dicking around. I don't dick around anymore. And I want to get that back. But anyways, I was going through a phase and this is a nice thing. This is my new favorite thing, my tattoos. How about you? Like you feel like your physique is better. Have you been checking yourself out in the mirror? What do you like? Is it your arms? I mean, what are you working on? You do leg day? Is it your tushy? You don't have to reply. But I would like you to reply and say, I don't want to reply. Just so that I can... Oh, there you go. Oh, you're working on everything. But is there something that you've been, like, happy about? Like, oh, my arms look thinner. Or, like, oh, I can go up the stairs without huffing and puffing. Or, like, you got a thing. We all, again, just too hypercritical of ourselves. So I just want to kind of spread some more positivity in the world, at least to ourselves. We're our worst critics. And I think I've been working a lot on my self-relationship and being kinder to myself. And I would like to let other people do the same because, like, I think I'm fat. Can you imagine? I swear. I got bad body dysmorphia, but, like, I don't always like how I look, and I want to be nicer to myself. I'm not what my body looks like. It's nice. I like certain things about myself. I don't need to focus on the things I don't like. And I am worthy whether I get fat or I stay thin. It's so crazy how much women care about how much identity, how much worth they put into their body. And I would say that because I worked hard to look like this. Again, I told you I was hella lame when I was younger. look at this. That doesn't look like someone who's that lame anymore. But because I worked hard on it, but that was because it came from a place of unworthiness, not from a place of worthiness. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. Anyways, that's a little thing. I went over, and I'd love to hear more and talk to you next time. Let me promise you what day I'll be on so I don't look like such a flaky person. Do you have kids? Because if you have kids, you'll understand summer is very inconsistent. And yes, I will be on next Friday at 9 for like an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you so much for coming. I 100% don't have 100%. Wow, that was a line. That was a definite line. You drew a line and said, fuck kids. Oh, yes. And then you said 100% don't want kids. Why don't you want kids? And how did you get to that, oh, fuck. I'm staying a little bit because I want to talk about this. Why don't you want kids? And how did you get to that realization? Because it's not that I don't love my kid, and every woman always starts with, it's not that I don't love my kid. They always start like that. I love another time, fine. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to copy and paste this part. And then when you come on next time, I will remember because I'd like to hear your thoughts. Because it's not like I'm anti-kids. I'm like pro-lifestyle, not anti-kids, pro-lifestyle. You don't want kids, you know yourself best, you don't have kids then. I support you, whatever you decide. You are homosexual, I believe in you, basically. Basically I support you no matter what you do because you know yourself best. Anyways, hardcore. Okay, it was great talking to you. I'll see you next time. Thank you for talking to me. I appreciate it. All right, bye.